Hi everyone. I wanted to answer another one of these questions, which is a really good one concerning opera conducting and how to approach studying for and eventually performing opera. So the question is, how do you deal with the different information sources that you have? You have the libretto, you have the vocal score, you have the orchestral score. Which one do you go through first, or do you go through all of them together? Like, how do you tackle that is the question. So the response is, of course, it's different for everyone, but I can tell you what makes sense and what works for me. So first, the libretto. I want to see how the play was written. What was the pacing, the timing, just the language all by itself, and the structure of the action. And you can do that most easily by reading a libretto. Of course, you can also see it in any score, but it just doesn't read quite the same way. And what I like to do with my libretti is also write some notes, in the sidelines. I think that's pretty interesting to do, kind of like you're annotating a book that you're trying to have an intimate relationship with, and so you're like, oh my God, did he do that? What did he mean by that? All that stuff. So that really engages you in the story from the beginning. Then I like to go to the piano vocal. I talk about this in the video. There are many reasons why, but I think the principal one is you want to see how the voice is set, and you want to see how a condensation of the orchestra and how the orchestra will respond to the voice and the word. And it's in its most succinct way possible in the piano vocal. So that intermediary step will allow you to see many bars at a time. It will highlight for you voice and then piano reduction. And that will also allow you to see harmonies very, very easily, and overall structure, construction of each scene, and then the acts and so on. So that's step 2 for me. And then step 3 is the orchestral score. And then when you're coming to the orchestral score, but you've had that intermediary process of going through the piano vocal, then the colors of the orchestration will really pop out at you, whether seeing it for the first time on the page, or whatever strikes you. Once you open up that full score, you're like, oh, I can't believe that was for an oboe. Actually, I thought it was for violin. Or how interesting that they don't double vocal lines at all. Or is there a leitmotif where the cello, for example, is always doubling a particular character? So you'll really get into those colors that each composer kind of has their individual fingerprint or DNA for their orchestration. You can be much more sensitive to that if you go through the steps of isolating structure, harmonic movement, and so on, and then just focusing on the orchestral colors. So that's my way of coming to a new score. If you have a bit of time, and also don't listen to recordings in the beginning, because what you want is you and the word. You want you and the composer, you and the music. You don't want somebody else getting in the way of that relationship. Then afterwards, you can inform yourself, of course. Oh, that's another question for another time. All right, stay tuned. Thanks for watching.